Right, I think we might be ready to go. Do not tell me there's adverts on my channel, because I don't earn adverts on my channel. Right, there we go. Just want to say hello there. Hi there, welcome to Number One Geek, as I said. And we're here with well, we're here with the final sets of box sets for the Marvel Zombies thing. And our first one is the old Marvel Zombies Sentinel Strike here, which has its own I'll tell you what, I'll put the manual down there just to throw that in there. So, oh man, literally all we have are the Sentinel small cards here, and the Professor X cards. So we've got the zombie version and the normal version. As usual, it'll take me a little while to get that damn wrapper off. Because, you know, damn wrapper. And I'm not talking about like people like Eminem, you know. I'm not a big fan of rap music, but you know, I've got no issue against people who do it. Right. We've got Sentinels, we've got our Professor X. Okay. Put that in the big bag here. I've got waiting for it. So next up we have normal Professor X, I believe. Telepathic hunting. Once per your turn, you may allow one other zombie hero to perform one free move action, or move one bystander, one zone in any direction you choose. At the start of the enemy phase, you may increase hunger. Oh, this is the undead one, isn't it? Okay. Just let one zombie hero anywhere. Enemies ignore them during this phase. Once during each zombie's hero turn, you may increase your hunger by any amount to reduce the toughness of any one enemy by that amount until the end of their turn. Right, so I have to, as it's the zombie one, my wife was very kind and went out to get me some more bags. Throw that into the big box. So we got the Professor X, the normal Professor X. So what we've got here, we have, once during your turn, you may allow one of the superheroes to perform one free move or power-up action, then resume your turn. Next one, Telepathic. At the start of the enemy phase, you may spend 1 star to collect one superhero or bystander anywhere. Enemies may ignore them during this phase. Also, enemies ignore them during this phase. Once you're in your turn, you may spend any amount of star to deal that many hits to one enemy anywhere on the board, as long as you have an open path to it. Now, I suspect an open path has a lot to do with the site, but right, there's Patrick Stewart sitting in his disability chair. Put those together. Here's interesting. You can actually play a Nana. You have 5 health. When enemies move into a adjacent zone containing a superhero, you may spend 1 star to move into that zone, ignoring enemies. You may reroll any misses when attacking a zone with zombie heroes. Once your turn, you may spend 1 star to look at the top card of the spawn deck. You move +1 zone per move action. You may ignore enemies. At the start of your turn, you gain 1 star and heal 1 wound. So we actually have a player character as a Sentinel as well. Now that's interesting. But next up, here's your Sentinels. And you can see just how big these bad boys are. Sorry guys, still getting over a cold and a cough, so if I end up being a bit sniffly or coughily, do apologise. There you go. So let's take this Sentinel Striker one back in there. Probably one of the boxes I'm actually going to have to keep. Generally because it has its own thing. Right. Next one up. Guardians of the Galaxy set. This is probably the smallest box out of them all. And apparently, re-establish this upside down. So, go on. And now that I've sneezed, I'm going to have to blow my nose. I do apologise, guys. Oh, my ears popped. Of course they have. That looks a bit Thanos-y, doesn't it? Right. I'm kind of thinking maybe the Sentinel Strike box might end up being a container for other bits and pieces, so let's pop that down the bottom there. So we've got our Guardians of the Galaxy set. Right, so oh dear. That's my daughter upstairs. I don't know why, but tonight she's just decided that it's not the night for her, that she wants to sleep. Hopefully my wife will be the gracious woman that she is. I love my wife so much. She knows when I'm streaming I am unable, so she'll take the mantle. Despite the fact I'll hear about it later on. Let's have a look at these cards, shall we? So we got Drax. And what's Drax doing? Performs +1 action each zombie hero at hunger level 3 to 4 within range 2 when he activates. Gamora, once per activation, well after she attacks on a 4+, she performs 1 free attack. Good old Groot. First time he's eliminated, he immediately respawns in the same zone with toughness 2. Mantis, zombie heroes within range 1 are considered Ravenous at hunger 3. Nebula can attack from one zone away. When eliminated, one zombie hero in her zone suffers 1 wound. Nova spawns with a number of troopers according to the highest danger level among the zombie heroes. Blue 2, yellow 3, orange 4, red 5. Oh, Rocket spawns with 2 specialists. He and all specialists within range 1 can attack from one zone away. Thanos spawns with Infinity Stones. Blue 1, yellow 2, orange 3, red 4. Gains 1 Infinity Stone at the start of each enemy phase. If he has all 6 stones, the players lose at the end of the player phase. Oof, ouch. Oh, Howard the Duck. Once per round, you may increase hunger to ignore 1 wound you would suffer. Cosmo, each time you eliminate enemies, you may eliminate 1 additional trooper in that zone. Space Stone, Thanos moves +1 zone per move action. Soul Stone, both Thanos' abilities cannot be used within range 2 of Thanos. Thanos attacks deal 2 wounds. Time Stone, at the end of Thanos' activation, roll a die. On a 5+, he performs 1 additional action. Roll again after each additional action. Oh Jesus, that's terrible. Reality Stone, Thanos acts as a spawn point during each enemy phase. Ooh, blue. If you're a zombie, I think that's going to be quite... Come on. Yep. Why have you decided that you're not going to focus? I mean, I can read Mind Stone, but come on. I might say at the start of each enemy phase, all player heroes within range 4 of Thanos are moved 1 zone towards him, ignoring enemies. And this will be Drax. Zombie Drax, I would have thought. Each time a superhero within range 2 performs a power-up action, Drax performs 1 action. While within range 2, superheroes can't use any skills that require spending. If her zone is attacked but she's not eliminated, she has a toughness 5 until the end of the round. Groot starting their activation within range 2 of him gain +1 action. If there's a bystander with range 2 when he activates, as his first action, he's placed in their zone. Spawns with Infinity Zones. One blah 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 gains 1 additional Infinity at the start of each enemy phase. If you have 6 stones, the players lose at the end of the player phase. Once per round, you may spend 1 star to ignore 1 wound you would suffer. With Howard. Cosmo, each time you eliminate enemies, you may eliminate 1 additional walker in that zone. I think are we back? Yeah, I think we are. Okay. So those are the enemy cards. Let's see if we can open up the player cards in a decent amount of time. Oh, looks like I found myself a way in. Right, I guess it's alphabetically. So we've got Herodra. Each time you suffer wounds from brutes, roll a die on a 3+, prevent those wounds. Brute suffers -1 toughness to earn a minimum 1 against your dual knives attack. Reckless charge. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star to move up to 2 zones into a zone containing enemies. Then perform 1 free dual knives attack. Each time you eliminate a brute or zombie hero, gain 1 star. Each star you gain to add +1 die to an attack grants you +2 die instead. Right. So this is hero. And so we're there. Right. And I'll throw that in there with the cards as well. And if you will excuse me, I do need a whiz. So I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sorry about that, guys. Now, quite a few boxes to go through as well. Right, let's have a look at Gamora. When attacking, each die resolves 6 counters 2 hits against a single enemy. That's nice. Thanos' will. You may ignore target priority. Each power-up activation grants you +1 star. After rolling an attack, you may spend 1 star once to reroll any dice. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free attack or move action. Okay, so we've got that and that. Let's find Gamora's character. I believe that's you. No, she blows. Too many weapons, but whatever. Admit, I do kind of think there may be too many heroes here and too many contexts, but hey, whatever. What's my opinion matter? I'm just here to show you what you want to see. Anyway, you have 4 health. Once during each round, you may prevent 1 wound you would suffer. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star to select a zone within range 1, move all enemies in that zone into a zone adjacent to it. When attacking with I am Groot, you may spend 4 star to target all zones within range 1. Roll once, applying the total number of hits to each zone. Nice. And there's the hero character. I mean, you can't miss Groot, can you? Really? Boom, bum, ba bum, bum, ba dum, bum, ba ba da bum. I mean, the great thing about this game is that everything's going to be configurable. And which is what a lot of my... Oh, poo. There goes another couple of cards. Don't want those to go any separately. So I'm going to go like that way. Okay, so the next one is Mantis. And she has, come on. Once during your turn, you may either gain 1 star or draw 1 heroic trait. Once during each enemy phase, when the enemy is in a zone of your choice within range 1, you would move. You may spend 1 star to prevent them from moving. Once during each end phase, you may spend 2 star to heal 1 wound from all superheroes within range 1. Now we've already done the superhero thing, so yeah, that's very much looking like Mantis there. Even though it's the smallest one, there are quite a lot of miniatures in here, I have to say. So let's get the bag out. Once again, thank you for my wife for getting them for me. But she does have an ulterior motive. Once these are all bagged up and out of the way, it just means that there's less room being taken up with big boxes. Okay. Next one. Because it's Karen Gillan, sexy Nebula. Nope. Come on, Nebula. You ignore target priority before attacking with targeting rifle. You must spend any amount of star to gain that much additional range. Gain 1 star at the start of your turn. Each time you perform a move action, you may spend 1 star to move +1 zone. Each time a rush or extra activation spawn card is drawn, you may perform one free action before it is resolved. She looks fairly effective. She may be the sexiest bald woman ever. I think everybody knew from day one that Karen Gillan was going to end up being a Hollywood star. She's just too pretty for it. Right, here's a character that hasn't actually been a major mainstay, even close to the films. Nova. Each time enemies attack your zone, you may spend 1 star. If you do, before assigning wounds, roll 1 die for each wound. On a 5+, prevent that wound. Hypergate. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star to have yourself or another superhero in range 2 perform 1 free move action, moving +1 zone and ignoring enemies. That's quite powerful. Each power-up action grants you +1, and all other superheroes also gain 1 star. Nice. It's all going a bit... Where are you, Nova? Okay, so we're coming up... There's Nova. That was a bit extended for what I've always known as Nova in the comics being. But hey, whatever. If anyone's actually going to bother seeing the Marvels, please pop to me down in the comment section and tell me why. I'd love to hear your excuses. Right. So I've just been facetious, as usual. Right. I'll rocket. Before attacking, you may spend any amount of stars. If you do, will anyone die? No bonus is possible. A successful roll deals the number of hits equal to the stars spent. During your turn, you may discard 1 hero trait to perform 1 free arsenal attack. This may be done multiple times. And before attacking, you may spend 1 star to roll +1 die for each enemy in the target zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. And there's his enemy token. His rather exciting miniature. I think his miniature is probably more exciting than his actual character, if I'm going to be honest. I'm a freak. I'm a widow. Right, so on to the zombies. Zombie Drax. When devouring, you may roll any misses if there is a guard or superhero in your zone. Each time you devour a guard or superhero, draw 1 zombie trait. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to move up to 2 zones into a zone containing enemies. Then perform 1 free devour attack. And finally, each time you devour a god or superhero, you may perform 1 additional devour attack before reducing hunger. This may cause additional devour attacks. Now, I haven't actually quite gotten into the way they get. Oh, Thanos. Okay, I'll put you there. How the duck, I'll put you there. Oh yeah, we've got the. Oh yeah, let's get the. The extras out of the way right now, shall we? And that'll be Drax there. So I never enjoyed Dave Bautista as a wrestler, but as an actor, he's actually very good. So, you know, didn't think he was the best wrestler in the world, but he's obviously found his niche as an actor. So there you go. Right. Undead Mantis. Each time enemies move into your zone, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free martial arts attack. During your turn, you may select one zone within range 2, move all enemies in that zone to a zone adjacent to it, and all bystanders in that zone into your zone. Each time any zombie hero within range 2 would become Ravenous, you may suffer 1 wound or discard 1 zombie trait to set their hunger to 3 instead. There you go. There's her enemy card. And I'm guessing this bad boy, or this bad lady should I say, is the zombie kid. Really, come on. Undead Nebula. Come on. Before attacking with electro stuff, you may choose to roll only 1 die, no bonuses possible. Add plus to the die roll. A successful roll does number of hits equal to your hunger level. Before attacking with electro stuff, you may replace your base dice with 1 die for each enemy in the zone. For any bonuses, ignoring superheroes for this attack. Or Ravenous, you may perform actions as normal. Okay. I'm guessing this is her. Not so sexy, Right, next up. Good old Undead Rocket. Whenever another zombie hero within range 2 discards a zombie trait, you may gain that trait. After attacking, you may discard 1 zombie trait once to reroll any misses. When attacking with Arsenal, before you're rolling your dice, you may increase your hunger to maximum. During your turn, you may discard one zombie trait to perform one free Arsenal attack. This may be done multiple times. Just so you can see the rest of the card. Here will be the rocket. Yep, absolutely. Okay. There's the Undead Rocket. I think there's going to be a lot more organisation that needs to be done, but hey, whatever. Star-Lord, I think we have that character as a live one in another box set, but boosters. Once during your turn, you may spend one action to perform one move action. Moving to 3 zones, you do not ignore enemies. When zombie hero in your zone devours an enemy or bystander, each other zombie hero with range 1 may reduce their hunger by 1. When devouring, add +1 die results for each other zombie hero in your zone, max 2+. Once during your zone, another zombie hero within range 2 may perform one free attack, adding +1 to dice results, then resume your turn. And that'll be the Undead Peter Quill there. And I suspect this one is here. Should be quite interesting to paint. That's because it's Marvel. They don't want to go too far into the serious zone of R-rated stuff, because Disney. So these zombies aren't going to end up being too hit up, really. Oh, Thanos. Oh, bless Thanos. Okay, milestone. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to search. Oh, this is Undead Thanos. Okay. Search the zombie trait deck for plus with a trait card, then shuffle the deck. +1 action and move +1 zone per move. Once each enemy phase, prevent the activation of all enemies in a zone of your choice within line of sight. Okay, I think what we might do with this bad boy, knowing that we have that and a shitload of this, we'll look at the stones. Oh, we're going to take the Thanos bad boy. It just happens to be red. Right, I'm throwing that into that box there. Right, we've got Howard the Duck, a bit of Thanos and a bit of Cosmos. We're throwing those into this bag. But of course, we're going to have a quick look at the miniatures. So here's... Wow. Can't actually get that detail on him. Come on. Woof, woof, woof. There we go, I think. There we go. Cosmos. How the duck. I'm just bugging in the way that I'm kind of interpreting everything. Right, that's God's Galaxy set out of the way. Back into shakes, gonna have a quick whiz, have a refill, and we'll be on to the Fantastic Four box set. What have I done here? I missed the Thanos thing. Here he is. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a massive Fantastic Four fan. Doctor Doom, I'm fine with. I suppose I'm just not a big Reed Richards fan, to be honest. He just is a big white dick, basically. Sociopath, I think, might be the better way of looking at it. Right. Oh, okay. So the Fantastic Four Under Siege has its own deck of oh man, that means I'm gonna have to keep the box, aren't I? Right, put you there for the short term. Let's put you in there. I mean, despite the fact that nobody likes the Fantastic Four, they seem to have still managed to gain a certain amount of credibility. Baxter. It's a Baxter card. Let's put that in there. I mean, if you disagree with me, if you're a Fantastic Four fans, please feel free to pop something down in the comment. I'm hoping to continuously run this as a weekend stream for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I won't be able to answer you because I'm probably asleep, but okay, we've got the undead versions right now. So we've got Doctor Doom. Cool. Look, each time you eliminate a superhero, draw 1 zombie trait. During your turn, you may discard 2 zombie traits to reduce your hunger by any amount. Before attacking, you may discard zombie trait cards. For each discarded card, gain +1 range, or +2 dice, or +1 dice to results, or enemies suffer -1 toughness, minimum 1. For each card, choose a different effect. Undead Leader. Once during your turn, you may have one other zombie hero within range to perform 1 free action. Then resume your turn. Now, let me have a look at these cards here. Because these many cards can end up being a difference. Okay, there he is. When he spawns, draw 1 additional spawn card for his zone. Any enemy spawn immediately perform 1 action. Where's our Docky Doom? There we go. Who's our next one? It is Undead Nama. You ignore enemies when moving if your hunger level is 3 or more. Move +1 zone per move action. Once during your turn, if your hunger level is 3 or more, you may perform 1 free action and 1 free move action. While your hunger level is 3 or more, each time you would suffer a wound from enemies, roll on a die on a 3+, ignore that wound. If you're Ravenous, this happens on a roll of 2+. Fair play. And his spawn card. Last in target priority gains a +1 toughness for each other enemy within range 1 of him. Okay. That's a lot of tentacle porn there. So I really want to get every single box out of the way. Black Bolt. Each time you attack with a particle shot, you may automatically eliminate one trooper or specialist in the target zone. Once during your turn, you may perform one free particle shot attack, targeting your zone and rolling only one die. No bonus is possible. A successful roll deals a number of hits equal to your hunger level. Once during your turn, you may become Ravenous and automatically eliminate all troopers, guards, and specialists in a zone between range 1. That actually sounds quite good. Now his spawn is... Ooh. Can attack from one zone away. His attacks inflict a number of wounds equal to the highest danger level. I think that's our Black Bolt. Okay. Right. Right. Undead Super Scroll. Cosmic move attacks gain range equal to your hunger level. This attack doesn't require a lot of sight. Being able to go around corners but not through walls. Fire flight. Once you're in your turn, you may increase hunger to perform one free move action. Ignoring enemies, you may eliminate one trooper or specialist in a zone. You may start in one and in one and you ended it. Beginning of the enemy phase, select up to 2 zones. For enemies at range 1, you may increase hunger for each zone to prevent them from moving. So that's your super scroll. So the actual spawn card gains the following based on the highest danger level: cumulative, blue no effect, yellow 2 zones per move action, orange toughness 5, red 3 actions per activation. Okay. Where are you, Mr. Scroll? I think that might be you there. See, I was trying to actually limit all this to different box sets, but starting to think that I may not be able to. Undead Mr. Fantastic. That's it. Punch attacks gain additional range equal to your hunger level. So that's require a lot of sight, being able to go around corners but not through walls. Once during your turn, after attacking with elastic punches, you may automatically devour one trooper, specialist, or bystander in the target zone. Once during your turn, you may search the zombie trait deck and discard pile for one card and give it to any zombie hero, then shuffle the trait deck. Okay. And the spawn card is... At the end of this activation, the closest superhero within range 3 is moved into his zone regardless of line of sight. And it's not really hard to find a Mr. Fantastic character because his arm's all over the goddamn place. So yeah. I suspect I'm going to take those cards and put them in a pack of living hero cards, but there you go. Invisible Woman. Probably going to be the worst person to be a zombie, if I'm honest. But each time you perform a move action, you may increase hunger. If you do, you may ignore enemies and may move one zombie hero in your zone along with you. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger and select a zone within range 2, move all enemies in that zone into a zone adjacent to it. At the beginning of your phase, select up to 2 zones with enemies at range 1. You may increase hunger for each zone to prevent them from moving. And of course, a hero spawn card. Is last in target priority. Superheroes cannot leave her zone by any means. Ouch. Oh, poo. But here's a mini. I mean, Sue Storm's probably one of the worst of the devourers because she'd end up suffocating her prey to death and then eating them, which is, I suppose, in one way. Which way would you want to die? Anywho, the thing, Undead thing. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your attacks, minimum 1, whilst Ravenous you cannot suffer wounds from troopers or specialists. After each attack, if you eliminate a guard or superhero, you may perform 1 free attack. This can trigger further free attacks. Not certify. No, you cannot suffer wounds from guards. While Ravenous, you may reroll any misses when attacking a zone with superheroes. So there you go. Now his spawn card is this. Kind of, anyway. That looks like Super Mario. No, come on. You can work. Camera. Gotta get a better camera, honestly, man. What do we do? There we go. Superheroes must discard 1 heroic trait to attack his zone. Okay. Now, here he goes. This is our Undead obviously had a bite taken out of him by a fucking Galactus by the looks of it. Jesus. But there you go. Now, once I get used to this game, I'm pretty sure I'm going to sort these out in a better system. But right now, we'll pack them up because this is a show and tell, so to speak. And I'm showing and telling you guys what's going on. Okay, next up. Hero Mr. Fantastic. But doing be doing. Oh, hold on. Let me just move those guys out of the way there. Hero Mr. Fantastic. When attacking with elastic punches, you may spend any amount of stars to gain a much different range. This attack doesn't require line of sight, being able to go around corners but not through walls. During your turn, you may spend any amount of stars to move one or other superhero in your zone, that many zones ignoring enemies. Once during your turn, you may search the heroic trait deck and discard part for one card and give it to any superhero, then shuffle the trait deck. Nicey nicey. So I'm guessing on the opposite trait we have Mr. Fantastic. Instead of moving, if there are any zombie heroes in his line of sight, he spends action moving them all into his zone. And there he lies. And invisible. Each time you perform a move action, you may spend one star. If you do, you ignore enemies and may move one superhero in your zone along with you. Once during your turn, you may spend one star to perform one free sonic blast attack, targeting your zone. Replacing your base die with one die for each enemy in the zone. Brutes and zombie heroes are ignored for this attack. At the beginning of the enemy phase, select up to 2 zones within enemies when 1. You may spend 1 star for each zone to prevent them from moving. And her spawn card is... her zone cannot be targeted by attacks from zombie heroes outside her zone. Right. I suspect that may be her. I got a pen of 4 on her. That's a... oh, Jesus. That's one bag gone. Next bag. I'll obviously go through all these and actually there's an interesting thing. Human Torch is there, but he wasn't a zombie. Wonder why. Well, maybe he's like living fire, so yeah, anytime a zombie gets near him. Each time an enemy moves into your zone, you may spend up to 3 stars to the energy hits to that enemy. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. You may eliminate 1 walker or runner in the zone you start in, and 1 in the zone you end in. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star to automatically eliminate all walkers and runners in your zone. You may spend 1 additional star to also eliminate all brutes. Now, here's the thing about Johnny Storm and the Human Torch, is thinking about, you know, zombie thing, is how are you going to end up getting near him if he's so hot he'll burn your face off before, on your teeth, before you even get near him. So I suspect that's why we don't have a zombie Human Torch. Zombie heroes ending their turn in his zone suffer 1 wound. Okay. Fair play to it. I mean, I'm not a fan of Johnny Storm as a personality in the end. I mean, I know he's a friend of Spider-Man and, you know, his serious side. But he's dicked too many people about to like him. But at the end of the day, how's a zombie going to kill him if he's living in fire? And the same thing, I do have to wonder, I haven't read it all the way through, how the Thing became a fucking zombie. Seeing as he's literally walking rock. You have 5 health. When a hero would suffer a wound, you may discard 1 heroic trait to ignore it. After each attack, if you eliminate a brute or zombie hero, you may perform 1 free pulverize attack. This can trigger further free attacks. Before attacking with pulverize, you may spend 1 star to have enemies suffer -2 toughness. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, you may perform 1 free power-up action. And his character card is each time he would be eliminated, roll on a die on a 5+, he is not eliminated. Well, fair play. Ben Grimm, do what Ben Grimm does. Do you know what I'm more excited about? Come on, making the live Marvel characters and having a representation of them and the zombie ones. Is that bad of me? Perhaps? I don't know. No, here's an interesting one. We have the Super Scroll. On attack with Cosmic Mimicry, you may spend an amount of star to gain that much additional range. This attack doesn't require line of sight, being able to go around corners but not through walls. Once per your turn, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. You may eliminate 1 walker or runner in the zone you start in, and 1 in the zone you end in. At the beginning of the enemy phase, select up to 2 zones with enemies at range 1. You may spend 1 star for each zone to prevent them from moving. So the Super Scroll could also generally be a bastion for fire, yeah, whatever. Can attack from one side away. If his zone is attacked but he's not eliminated, the attacker suffer 1 wound. Okay, and this bad boy is the model. Come on. Grog. Right, so we have Agatha Harkness and Alicia Masters. I'm suspecting, because of the cane, that is Alicia Masters. And of course, Agatha Harkness. Oh, there you go. Oh, man. Here's me thinking, it's all going to be gravy. It's me just going to the front and centre. Oh, no. No, it's all going horribly wrong. Oh dear. If you can see the mess down here, I will be back in 2 shakes of lambs. Holy moly. We still have quite a few box sets left. That's, oh dear. How's that? Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. That's not how things work. There we go. Oh. Penultimate. Oh, penultimate one there. Clash of the Sinister Six. Now, I've got a few of my favourite enemies because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Massive Spider-Man fan, but yeah, big Spider-Man fan. This box is taking a little time, I must admit. Oh. Okay. Another load of... Oh. Team versus... Oh. Okay. Right, so we are now on the Clash of the Sinister Six box set. Give me a moment while I have to bring the enemy cards up. Get the hero card sorted as well. Okay. So zombie wise, we have good old Doc Ock. Once you're your turn or another zombie hero within range 2 may draw 1 zombie trait. Once you're in turn, you may select a zone within range 1 and move one enemy or bystander from that zone into your zone. Then perform 1 free devour attack targeting them. Each time you attack with tentacles, you may deal the same number of hits scored to another zone within range 1. Now his spawn card is... Can attack from 1 zone away. Superheroes within range 1 must spend 1 extra action to move. Honestly, this is... Doc Ock is so easy to find when it comes to the miniatures. I mean, I'm going to have fun painting this bad boy. Look at him. Doc Ock has always been equals fun for me. I mean, even on the point of that, you know, with the amount of his intelligence as a character, he still somehow manages to fail. Right. Undead Electro. Each time you attack with electric bolts, you may automatically eliminate one. Come on, camera. One trooper or specialist in range 1. When targeting your zone with electric bolts, you may increase hunger to roll +1 die for each enemy there, ignoring superheroes for this attack. Once during your turn, you may eliminate one trooper, guard, or specialist in your zone. Then move up to 3 zones, ignoring enemies, and eliminate one trooper, guard, or specialist in the zone you end in. His spawn card is... You can attack from one zone away, dealing 1 wound to each superhero in the zone. Any superhero wounded by him loses 1 star. Right. Is that him? No, that's it. That's the Hobgoblin. Yeah, I think that might be him. Now, as I say, most of these cards may end up in a different way of organisation once I understand how the game works. Green Goblin. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger when moving to move +1 zone, ignoring enemies. Once per your turn, after attacking with Pumpkin Bomb, you may immediately perform 1 free Pumpkin Bomb attack. Gain 1 free move action each time you perform a move action. You may eliminate 1 trooper, guard, or specialist in each zone you begin in, move through, or end in. Okay, whatever. Each time a rush or extra activation card is drawn, all superheroes in range 1 suffer 1 wound. Nice. I would have thought for... Well, that's actually going to be a bad thing for heroes, isn't it? Next up is the lizard. Undead lizard, should I say. Once you're your turn, you may perform 1 free devour attack. This attack rolls only 1 die, no bonus is possible. Scoring number hits equal to your hunger level if successful. During each enemy phase, when enemies move into your zone, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free fangs and claws attack. At the start of each round, draw 1 zombie trait. Your devour attacks gain +1 to dice results. And the drawn card is When he deals a wound to a superhero, roll a die on a 5+, that superhero suffers 2 wounds instead. Because it's him. Ooh. Poink. By the way, if you're watching, guys, I appreciate that you may not want to talk or do so, or this may end up being a stream that is a pre-recorded stream that I am doing to ensure that I get the watch hours. That's actually a really good miniature, isn't it? So, but please press the like button, guys. At least. At the best, why not press that subscribe button and the bell icon so you get to enjoy my general sense of humour and purpose. As a man with depression, of course. Right, next one. Oh, Mysterio. During your turn, you may spend 1 action to increase hunger. To set 1 enemy within range 1. That enemy suffers 1 hit for each other enemy in their zone. Once during your turn, you may move all enemies into a zone within range 1 to a zone adjacent to it containing enemies. At the start of your turn, you can be placed in any zone within line of sight containing zombie hero. Now, I'm going to have to, I do apologise. I can feel my sinus is filling up. Whilst I was talking, so yeah. Okay, so the spawn card is whenever he would be eliminated, roll a die on 5+. He's not eliminated, but place it in an adjacent zone instead. Right, where are you, Mr. Bowlhead? Yeah, I think with the big fucking claw, Jake Gyllenhaal's going to be proud of this miniature. I would think. Oh, Bowlhead. Next one, Rhino. Undead Rhino, does it say? So, once per round, when you would suffer a wound, you may instead increase your hunger by 1. Each time you complete a move action, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free melee action. While at hunger level 3 or higher, gain 1 free move action. While Ravenous, you may reroll misses and gain 1 free devour attack. His spawn card says whenever he enters a... Come on. With superheroes, roll a die on 4+. All superheroes in that zone suffer 1 wound. There we go. There's our miniature. Okay. Next one up is Venom. Or Undead Venom, should I say. Once during your turn, enemies suffer -1 toughness against your rending claws attack, -1. While Ravenous, you may suffer 1 wound to perform actions as usual. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free devour attack against a target within range 2. If they're eliminated, move into their zone, ignoring enemies. Each time enemies spawn within range 2 before any rush, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free attack and 1 move action in any order. I suspect I'm going to have to split everything in half here. Here's our opposite, which is when he is eliminated, 1 superhero in his zone suffers 1 wound. Right. I would suspect. Oh, hello. What's going on here? There we go. I would suspect that's Eddie Brock and Venom. Or Undead Venom, at least. And finally, ironically, one of my favourite Spider-Man villains, the Vulture. As a zombie, I'm not saying that I'm a favourite as he's a zombie. I just have a certain amount of affection for the Vulture. I don't know why. Once during your turn, when you eliminate a god or superhero, you may perform 1 free action. Once during your turn, when you perform a move action, you may move up to 3 zones, ignoring enemies. After performing a move action, you may perform 1 free devour attack, targeting 1 bystander or enemy in a zone you begin in, move through, or ending. Okay. Those are particular words. And his spawn card is, when he activates, all superheroes within range 1 lose 1 star. If it affects more than 1 superhero, Vulture performs +1 action. And here he is. I like the fact that his wings are almost like destroyed, like the worst sort of bird. That the one you know is going to die. Got ticks and all that crap all over it. Right, so we've got the heroes. So number 1, Black Cat. Once per enemy phase, when enemies are in a zone of your choice within range 1 would activate, you may spend 1 star. If you do before they activate, roll 3 die. For each 4+, each 1 hit to 1 enemy in that zone, ignoring target priority. When performing a move action, you may spend 1 star to move +1 zone. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. When attacking, you may reroll any misses. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free martial arts attack. Okay, what's going on here? Because I've got save the day, assembly. To the rescue, healing, go. At bush. By skin on your teeth. See, that looks like brute force, satiate, the horde. Okay. Get that? Finally. So Gwen Stacy's character, zombie hero suffer -1 to dice results when attacking her zone. If the attack rolls 1 or more bites, they suffer 1 wound. Quite easy to find it. No, so Ring Goblin. That's a good guy. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 star when moving to move +1 zone, ignoring enemies. Once during your turn, after attacking with Pumpkin Bomb, you may immediately perform 1 free Pumpkin Bomb attack. So your turn, draw 1 heroic trait, then deal 1 wound or perform 1 free power-up action. His spawn card is... Instead of attacking, he deals 1 wound to each zombie hero in his zone, then moves 1 zone away. And here's his mini. Now here's interesting. Craven. If there's a zombie hero from range 2 at the start of your turn, move for 1 free power-up action. You may reroll any misses when attacking zones containing zombie heroes. Whenever a zombie hero spawns, you may perform 1 free move action. If there's a zombie hero within range 2 at the start of your turn, may perform +1 action. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, you are restored to full health. Nice. Set power to 4 and draw 1 heroic trait. His spawn card is... When moving and attacking, he exclusively targets a zombie hero with the most XP. If that hero activates within range 2, they lose 1 action. Interesting. I think that is Craven there. Okay, next bit is, come on. During your turn, you may spend 1 action and 1 star to select 1 zone within range 2. Eliminate 2 walkers or runners there. If there's a brute or zombie hero in that zone, eliminate 1 additional walker or runner there. Once during your turn, you may move all enemies in a zone within range 1 to a zone adjacent to it containing enemies. At the start of your turn, you may be placed in any zone within line of sight containing a superhero or bystander. His spawn card is... Zombie heroes must spend +1 action whenever they attack his zone. You know, compared to his zombie one, he's a little bit subtle, if I'm honest. Oh, dear. Still suffering from a cold. Next up, good old Ravenous. During your turn, you may spend up to 2 stars for each star spent. Deal 1 hit to 1 enemy in your zone. Both may be allocated to the same enemy. After performing a move action, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free horn action, an horn attack. There you go. Two apologies. No, man. That hurts so much. Anyway, at the start of your turn, gain 1 star for each wound you've suffered. Remember, for 1 free attack or move action for each wound you've suffered. And their spawn card is... Come on. If he has a zone with zombie heroes, they each suffer 1 wound. Whenever a rush spawn card is drawn, he moves one zone. Okay. Where's my big boy? Here he is. Fantastic miniature. I'm so sorry about my cough. Next up is the Sandman. Pray say your prayer, little one, once during your turn. When attacking with Sandfist, you may spend 1 star to gain one of the following effects, or 2 stars to gain both. +1 range, enemies suffer -1 toughness. Each time you suffer a wound, you may spend 1 star to roll a die, or on 3+ to prevent that wound. Once during your turn, when attacking with sand fists, if there's a zombie hero in that zone, roll +3 dice, assigning hits to a single enemy. Otherwise, roll 1 die for each enemy. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, how are you going to actually convert Sandman into a zombie? Seeing he's literally made out of silicon. Ignores walls when moving. It does not trigger spawns when entering closed buildings. Does not lower hunger when devoured. Of course he doesn't, because he's made out of silica. So it's not that hard to work out where he is. There's Kane there. No, Sandman, where have you gone? Exit, Sandman. No, I found him. It's fine. It's fine, he hasn't exited. He's going to enter. Sandman's going to enter this bag. Next one is J. Jonah Jameson's favourite construct, Scorpion. During your turn, you may spend 1 star to automatically eliminate 1 walker or runner within range 1, or spend 2 star to eliminate 1 brute. When attacking with Scorpion's tail, you may spend 1 star to roll +1 die for each enemy in the target zone, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free power-up or attack action. His spawn card is... can attack from 1 zone away. Each time he attacks, roll a die. On a 4 to 5, he deals 2 wounds. Among the targeted zombie heroes, on a 6, he deals 3 wounds. There's a character you don't blinking mess with. But he is a Scorpion. And he's only made luck because Spider-Man is so OP. And Spider-Man OP, you see, you know, let's just put it this way, Mr. Fantastic, if he was in that general way, is that he would probably want to pretty much eliminate Peter Parker. Generally, just simply by just how intelligent he is. Ah, we've got our final hero card, which is, of course, Venom. During your turn, enemies suffer -1 toughness against your rending claws. Attack -1 during each end phase. Heal 1 health. When attacking with rending claws, you may spend 1 star to gain +2 range. After attacking, you may move 1 superhero, bystander, or enemy in the target zone into your zone. Each time enemies spawn within range 2, before any rush, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free attack action and 1 free move action in any order. His spawn card is... when he's eliminated, take this card as a bystander. While you have it, your attack rolls +1 die. If it's ever discarded, roll a die on a 4+. Suffer 2 wounds. And of course, the character is black, as in like the colour black, as in... It'd be very interesting to paint this bad boy. Right. Now, we have a lot of cards here. I'll save the date. Oh, come on. Okay, so we have the Zombicide. Gwen Stacy, zombie trait, increase your hunger by 1. And of course, Flash Thompson. Each time a rush or extra activated card spawn is revealed before reading it, you may perform 1 free move action. The other side cards is Gwen Stacy says each time you draw a hero trait, gain 1 star. And each time a rush or extra activation spawn card is revealed, before resolving it, you may perform 1 free move action. So, there's the Flash Thompson card, or player. The very dead, very dead Gwen Stacy. Okay. Right, that's box set. Oh, it's the Hydra Resurrection box. This feels quite heavy. So that kind of makes me a little bit worried. Because... oh, so many different... Places of stick things. Oh, we'll get there very shortly. Oh man. Right. Your resurrection, guys. Our final box set. Yeah, if you're not seeing anything right now, I'm trying to get the cards open. No. And next, I'm going to go grab myself another drink. I'll be back very shortly. Okay, so we've got our first character. Hawker. You ignore target priority. Each time you attack with arrows, you may increase hunger by 1 to increase range by 1. Once during your turn, after attacking with arrows, you may perform 1 free arrows attack at the same zone or zone adjacent to it, respecting the attack's range. When attacking with arrows, you may replace your base dice with 1 die for each enemy in the zone before any bonuses, ignoring superheroes for this attack. Oh. Why She-Hulk? Now, Hawkeye's spawn can attack from 2 zones away. If his zone is attacked but is not eliminated, push the attacking superhero 1 zone away. There we go. Silver. Once during your turn, when you perform a move action, you ignore enemies and may increase hunger by any amount. Move +1 zone for each hunger level increased. After performing a move action, you may perform one free devour attack in one zone you entered or left. At the start of each enemy phase, each time enemies spawn within range 1, you may perform one free move action. Here's spawn card. For some strange reason, he's not in. Pretty sure that actually Quicksilver shouldn't have actually been there. Quicksilver. Move 2 zones per move action. Each time a rush card is drawn, he moves 1 zone. Second box gone. So I've done at least 50 miniatures now. Undead She-Hulk. She has control of her anger, remember? Enemies have -1 toughness against your attacks to a minimum of 1. Once for your turn, you may perform 3. Do you know what? Disney fucked her up. You can read it yourself. Yeah. You got it. I ain't playing a Disney game. She's cool in the comics. Asshole. In the Disney plus it stuff. And Shulky was one of my favourite characters until recently. The only thing is, you know, I'm just so glad they haven't ruined Spider-Man for me. Undead Falcon. You may reroll 1 die each time you attack. Each time an enemy or bystander within range 1 is devoured, reduce hunger by 1. Do not spend extra actions when leaving zones with enemies. Once per your turn, you may move up to 3 zones during a move action. Once during a turn, you may perform 1 free move action, then 1 free devour attack, ignoring a target priority. Now that's Falcon. His spawn card is ignore superheroes if there's any bystander on the board. Inflicts 1 wound to 1 superhero in each zone he leaves automatically. Devours any 1 bystander staying in the zone where he ends his activation. Well, I suspect this bad boy might be him. Well, there's a decent respect for Falcon. I mean, comic book Falcon, not you know, Marvel Studios film Falcon. But Undead Black Widow, about useful as a chocolate teapot, I would suspect. Each time you attack with Widow's Bite, you may eliminate 1 trooper or specialist in your zone and reduce hunger by 1. Wow. During your turn, you may discard 1 zombie trait to perform 1 free action. It may be done repeatedly. Your attacks gain +1 to dice results. Each time you eliminate a god or superhero, you may perform 1 free action. Brilliant. Spawn card says spawns in the zone with the last superhero that activated, then rolls 1 die. On 3+, they suffer 1 wound unless they spend 2 stars. So, here's a question. Is an undead Natasha as useless as an alive Natasha? Pop it in the comment section. I'm saying it just to encourage discussion and debate. Right. There's an undead Loki. At the end of your turn, if there are no enemies in your zone, you may have all enemies ignore you during the next enemy phase. Once during your turn, you may select 1 zone within range 1. All enemies in that zone activate and attempt to move into your zone. At the start of each round, you may place yourself in any zone containing a bystander or superhero, then perform 1 free devour attack. His spawn card is... come on. You do not spawn him as usual. Instead, if he's not in play, for each walker that enters a zone with a superhero, roll a dice on a 5+, replace it with Loki. Okay. Now the question is this an undead Loki or is this just Loki being Loki? One will never know. Now, interestingly, I have a lot of characters here. Right, that man, he's a hero type, isn't he? So, ignore target priority. Do not spend extra actions when leaving zones with enemies. You may perform open door actions for free during your turn. You may spend 1 star to draw 1 heroic trait. May be done repeatedly. At the start of each enemy phase, you may spend 1 star to have all enemies ignore you during this enemy phase. Right, just wanna... I mean, that man begins with a goddamn A. Why is he not first? Right, his activation card says... Always lasting target priorities, attacks target all zombie heroes in his zone. Very interesting challenge. Painting wise, I should say. Interesting. Quicksilver's next. Everything used to be, during your turn, when you perform a move action, you may ignore enemies and may spend any amount of stars for each star spent. Move +1 zone. Each time you perform a move action, you may eliminate 1 walker or runner in 1 zone you enter or leave. At the start of each enemy phase, and each time enemies spawn within range 1, you may perform 1 free move action. Brilliant. Right. Normal Quicksilver. Each time a rush or extra activation card is drawn, he moves 2 zones. If a zombie hero leaves his zone, he moves with them. And here's our Quicksilver. Running like a god. Oh, there we go. Excuse me? Well, you hear a lot. Right, next up. Old Vision. Once per attack, after rolling dice, you may spend 1 star to reroll any misses. Once during each enemy phase, you may spend up to 2 stars to prevent the same amount of wounds suffered by superheroes or bystanders within range 1, including you. Once during your turn, you may have one other superhero draw 1 free heroic trait and then perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. Give me a second. There's Vision. Vision spawn card says can attack from 1 zone away, not requiring line of sight and ignoring walls. Because it's the goddamn Vision. He knows what he's doing. Yoink. There's the Visions. Have an enjoyable paint, I think. Now I'm packing these things up. Generally not quite knowing how the game works. Because the game works in a very different way to normal Zombicide. So, next is Jennifer. Old She-Hulk, Shocky. You have 5 health. When attacking with gamma punches, you may spend 2 star. If you do, roll only 1 die, no bonus possible. A successful roll scores 4 hits against a cinema. Nice. Once put during your turn, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free move action, moving up to 3 zones, ignoring enemies. You may eliminate 1 brute walker or runner in the zone you end in. Gamma punches gains +1 die for each wound you have suffered. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free gamma punches attack. I'll do me. And her spawn card says has +1 move action per activation. Her attacks deal 2 wounds. And there's Shocky. Great Marvel character. Totally not ruined by Disney. Next character. Black Widow. Each time attack with a Widow's bite, you may limit to 1 walker or runner in the targeted zone. Each time enemies move into your zone, you may spend 1 star to perform 1 free Widow's bite attack. Widow's bite gains +1 to dice results. Each time you eliminate a brute or zombie hero, you may perform 1 free Widow's bite attack. Nice. Spawn card says nothing at the moment because the camera will not. Oh, come on. Whoop, whoop. spawns in the zone with the last zombie hero activated. Then rolls 1 die, and a 4+, they suffer 1 wound. Okay. The next one, Big Falcon. Once during each enemy phase before drawing a spawn card, you may spend 1 star. If you do, draw 2 spawn cards instead. Choose 1 and discard the other. Do not spend extra actions when leaving zones with enemies. Once during your turn, you may move up to 3 zones during a move action. And finally, once during your turn, you may perform 1 free move action. Each time you move, you may bring 1 superhero or bystander into your zone along with you. Spawny. When he spawns, he moves up to 2 zones. If possible, range attacks against this zone suffer -1 to dice results. And we have a wonderful miniature falcon. It's going to be something I'm really going to be excited to pay for, despite the fact that as a I don't get to really spend many times painting people with different skin colours other than white. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole political thing of it. I'm actually excited because it gives me the opportunity to look at other cultures and skin colours and stuff like that. It's a good artistic challenge for me. Right, next up. Let's go. After your turn, you may spend 1 star to select 1 bystander or superhero within range 2, and then move them 1 zone, ignoring enemies. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. When you power up, you gain 4 star. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero from range 2 perform 1 free power up action. Okay, so at the end of each enemy phase, spawn 2 Hydra soldiers in this zone. No, the red guy is We also have this red Scott. At the end of each enemy phase, spawn 2 Herodra souls in this zone. That's the zombie version. Now here's interesting. I have 2 separate sections. I have zombie Hydra soldiers. But I also have these cards. Oh, come on, you can flood. Gonna have to get myself a better camera. But I can't afford one, so yeah, whatever. I think that is pretty much it. Apart from there's a miniature of Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, there's the lady. Pretty much the Hydra soldiers, or the Undead Hydra soldiers, are nuts. Pretty much every single soldier on that front. And they're all going in a bag. No, just put all that in there. No. Right, our last miniatures. And they're going in. So, zombie wise, we've got once during your turn you may increase hunger to automatically eliminate one guard within range 1. Nick Fury has once during your turn you may have one other zombie hero within range 2 increase or decrease their hunger by 1 and perform 1 free move action. On the hero side, once during your turn you may have one other superhero within range 2 get 1 start and perform 1 free move action. And then Maria Hill, once you during your turn you may spend 1 start to automatically eliminate 1 brute from range 1. So that, guys, is the last part of everything that is going on. So I hope that you are having fun with that. I am going to end up trying to take all the footage here, and I'm trying to increase my watch time, so I may do more than one live stream here. Anywho, thank you very much for watching. Please press the like button. Please pop something down in the comment section. Please subscribe. Also press the old bell icon, which will make things fantastic, because that means that you'll get updated every time I upload anything new to YouTube. But thank you very much for your time. If you've watched as far as this has, especially when I do the full thing, you're an absolute star. Take care, guys. Have a great night. Good night.